Okay, so I'm here with Ollie Selway in Cutslow Park. He has just demonstrated the next routine of exercises that I'll be taking on this week to improve my core strength for the road. What we're going to do now is just go over the exercises he's just explained to me. He's standing behind the camera right now trying to entertain his dog. It's Satch right there. Just to make sure that I've got the correct techniques and it will benefit me the most. So we're going to start off with exactly what Ollie said, which are the leg raises, and we'll start off with leg raises to the side. Okay, so we're going to do 15. We're only going to do one set this time because of a time issue with the camera. So
good, so those are your lateral raises. Darren, that's great, all the way out to the side. See if for these you can keep your foot pointing forwards rather than rotating it towards the sky.
Okay.
That's it, so it's more like that. That's it, gets a little bit harder. Continue to face the front, try and keep quite a high posture as you do it. Try and keep count as well, if you can. Counting was never a specialism of mine. Yeah.
It's difficult, this exercise.
Yeah. So this is sort of pre-exhaust them, if you like. Put them through a wide range of motion. It's working on your mobility as well, which the other exercises don't do quite so much. This is the sort of thing that a martial artist might do. This is particularly good for their control and their kicking, but really a very good exercise for anybody. So just watch that, the angle of that foot as well. Just make sure it stays nice and straight, so it's pointing towards the camera. Hard work already. Excellent. And when you finish your 15, you're going to go to the straight raise. Must have done 15 by now. That's 15, thought so. That's good, coming nicely. Try to lift only from the hips. There's a temptation to throw your hips underneath as well as you come up, so that you're curling the spine a bit, which shortens the spine. Try not to do that so much. It's a good speed. You're not doing it so fast that there's no control at the uppermost point, which is good. Sometimes it's useful to even pause at the top before coming down again. It can really emphasize the control that's needed. It's good. I suppose doing this in real time, your viewers could be following this alongside you as you do them. That would probably be the easiest thing for them to do. If they've seen the demo already.
That's 15.
That's 15. So now we're on to the reverse ones, which are surprisingly difficult to do. Go ahead and start. Good. And again, we're trying not to rotate the leg too much, but keep it pointing straight forwards. Keep the foot pointing the same direction forwards as the standing foot, so that you should feel the gluteals contracting, the hamstrings contracting as you push back. Keeping your upper body reasonably straight, which is good. We don't need it to be absolutely dead straight for this. From a distance, this exercise will look very easy indeed, but it ain't. Oh, I mean isn't, sorry. It's my poor grasp of the English language. It's good, you change legs. So rather than just letting your mind wander onto any old thing and start planning the rest of the day, actually really trying to focus in on your balance and the muscles that you're contracting. Really try and feel each muscle squeeze, try and feel those gluteals working. Okay, that's got to be about 15, I think. Let's get there now. Right, so if you now want to do the press up to downward dog facing exercise, if you remember that.
This one I was having problems with because
Okay. If you could do it facing the, well, yeah, that's a good direction. Yeah, we can see that nice and easy. Let's see how that works out.
The problem I have here is obviously because my calves are still tight. Right?
Yeah, well, this is a good exercise for the calves as well, actually. So get your hips as high as you can to start with. That's good, and then allow your hips to drop as low as you can. Good, and push back. Yeah, that's looking good. How are you finding this?
Yeah,
All right. Okay. Good. So rather than getting you to do 15, I'm actually going to get you to stop that now, and I want you to try the one-handed version of the same.
Right.
So straight into that. We'll go for 5 of those.
So here we go.
We're playing with the numbers a bit today, partly for the sake of the video. So that's pretty good. Pretty good. If you try this at home, you'll see the amount of control that's required to do that is considerable. If you've got a weakness in your core, this exercise will find it out. Okay, great. So now go for another 5 on the opposite hand. I can tell you're having fun already. Left-handed or right-handed, Darren?
Right-handed.
Right-handed. And yet you chose to do this exercise with your left hand the first time around. Interesting. That's the sort of perversity that's needed in order to make the decision to row across an ocean and do it successfully, I think. Okay, brilliant. Good 5 there. And then we'll get you to try same exercise again with 1 foot off the ground. 2 hands down, 1 foot off. Nice high foot at the back there, which is only really made necessary because you've done it up next to a pavilion like that. That's some good crawling exercise there. So this changes things. You'll find that it's your quadricep muscle on the standing foot that's having to work particularly hard in order to bring yourself back to that downward facing dog position. Would you agree with that, Darren?
I would.
You're having to push your foot down hard into the ground in a way that's probably not used to. Really drive the toes down to get back out of that position. Okay, when you've done the 5, what I want you to then try is an opposite hand and an opposite leg. If you could go a little bit more sideways on for us, then we'd get a better view of that.
Opposite hand,
Opposite hand, opposite leg.
Right, so let's start.
Now, to some viewers, this exercise might look a bit awkward or ungainly. That is because it is, and it's actually meant to be. If Darren was capable of doing this in an incredibly smooth, dynamic, and impressive-looking way, it probably wouldn't be the right exercise for him. He would already have that sort of core strength and coordination of the core that meant that he wouldn't need to do the exercise in the first place. So if you like, the harder it looks, the more good it's doing him. So all that wobbling around is really forcing him to use muscles in a way that he's not used to, and therefore he will adapt from very quickly. Okay, that was great, Darren. Right, and last set of this type, we're going to see if you can manage to do it unilaterally, so that's same side arm, same side leg.
Right. And obviously when I'm doing this in sets, there's no break in between, or?
I would roll again. Okay, so here we go. We've got Darren, and he's now into the second type of exercises here. Really focusing on driving up his pelvis into the air as much as he can. Okay, so at this stage we're going to make it a little bit harder, and we're going to say raise one foot off the ground, drive up like that, and then change legs. Good. So we're still working at this posterior chain that's going to be so important with rowing. Okay, Darren, now we're actually going to introduce an exercise that we did last time, but I didn't demonstrate in the video just a minute ago.
Yeah.
If you just lie back down again and put your legs straight, drive your heels into the ground, and your shoulders, lift everything else off the ground, so you're effectively turning your body into an arch. That's right, like that. That's good. Only a small movement, but hugely effective. This would be a good one for people that tend to slump a lot with that sort of posture that makes people look like they're a bit lazy when in fact they're not. They've just got poor posture through weakened muscles, shortened muscles, over lengthened muscles. Fantastic. And then in the same position with one foot up. Good, and change legs. Looks like you're struggling with this one a bit.
Yeah.
Tough one. Okay, fantastic. Right, now if you go to the reverse position where you've got your hands down and your feet in front, like this, and you're going to be driving your hips up in the air. That's it. It's really important as you do this to really extend through the shoulder blades as well, so that, yeah, that's it, you're bringing your shoulders back, you are contracting the muscles behind the shoulder blades, the traps, really getting as much extension there as you can. That's good. And then if you try and do that with just the one hand down behind you, perhaps put the hand you've got loose in front of you, like this. Yeah, that's it. Try and keep your hips square on so they're not turning quite as much as they are there.
It's actually the balance part of it is difficult, isn't it?
Yeah. This is all part of the battle. Good. And then just for fun, you could try an opposite hand and an opposite leg, see if that's actually possible for you.
Fun, you say?
Yeah. Fun's the word I use for it because I'm the one standing behind the camera.
It's going to be a problem keeping the legs.
Yeah. Very hard not to turn.
Some might say impossible.
Fantastic. Okay. Right, so if we take the exercises that we've done already, what we can also do is make them a little bit harder again. You might not do this next week, but moving onwards, by elevating either the hands or the feet. So, for example, if we take the exercise where you're dropping down the hips, if we do it, that would be fine. Drop down, raise up, and actually, if you do it with your hand, this exercise with your hands up, actually becomes a little bit easier. But it's actually a good exercise for you because of the way that your hamstrings, your calves will be challenged if you try and make sure that they go flat back on the ground as you come up and drive your hips up. So you should feel that operating quite strongly on your calves there. But overall, it's an easier exercise. If you now reverse that, hook your feet over the bar, put your hands down on the go face downwards.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. And do exactly the same exercise. Yeah, feet like that's fine if you've got a good grip. And it's difficult to get your hips down as far as they were. It's working really hard at the bottom position there. Fancy trying one hand there? No. Right.
Rough, that surface.
Yeah.
I got a pretty face.
Not easy.